So, this week it's been a fairly quiet one on the Battlefield. News of the summer patch is still pretty sparse, with only the items I gave you in my last video being ones that we can be fully confident on. That was until yesterday, or Thursday if you look at it from where we are now, with EA's most recent earnings call, which I think has caused some confusion among the community. Now, it's no secret that EA plan to release a new Battlefield game every single year now. With the Medal of Honor series on hiatus, EA's plan for yearly FPS releases now solely relies on Battlefield. I guess you could count Star Wars Battlefront as being included, but I don't really know how that's going to tie in. They could be using a completely different method for that franchise. They recently tried to create a new tactic with Battlefield Hardline, which was fun for a while, but I think we've seen that most people want to play Battlefield for the military aspect, the all-out warfare. Battlefield 4 player numbers are on the rise, and collectively, according to EA, Battlefield players across all platforms played over 170 million hours of Battlefield 4 and Hardline since the beginning of April 2015. So some people saying this franchise is dying, well, from that statistic, far from it. It's also common knowledge among the community now that the next Battlefield game in the franchise is going to be dropping in late 2016. This was confirmed a while back when EA's CFO, Blake Jorgensen, stated the title would return to a military-style setting. But the confusion, though, has come from a small statement given yesterday during the earnings call when EA announced they would be delivering a new Battlefield experience. A lot of news websites have obviously been running a story on EA's financial call, not only for Battlefield but for all other titles as well. But what seems to have happened is that a lot of people have taken the statement to mean that EA will announce a brand new topical Battlefield game similar to what they did with Battlefield Hardline. If you read the statement properly, however, it boils back down to simply a reiteration of what we already know. A new Battlefield game will launch in 2016. The statement didn't mean it's going to be something different from the military style we all know and love. It was simply said to confirm a new game will launch. And that leaves us back once again not really knowing what is going to happen with the title. There are rumours circulating right now that the new title could be a World War II shooter, which I'm sure would lighten up a lot of veteran players who've since left the franchise. We recently saw leaks of 2143, which did turn out to be fake, but caused a big stir once again with veterans warming to the idea of a sequel. We've still got plenty of people calling on DICE to strike it big and try and replicate the success of Bad Company 2 with a sequel there. Rumour is a lot of the older Bad Company designers have returned to DICE. Whether that's true or not is another matter. And finally, we have perhaps the strongest of ideas, being that the new game will simply be a mainline title, called Battlefield 5. This would make sense, as Hardline was released not long ago, and having two spin-offs in a row might not go down too well. I've expressed my thoughts on this already. I'd like to see a Cold War Battlefield game come into life, but I hardly think that's going to happen. Of the options that seem most likely, I'm siding with the idea of Battlefield 5 being the next title. It makes more sense than any of the other options, really. I mean, World War II shooters were all the rage 5 years ago, but now, will something like Battlefield 1944 really have enough content in there to keep players happy? I mean, we're all used to infinite customization and a steady flow of post-release DLC nowadays. Can a game based on historical events offer players used to modern military fictional settings enough to keep them happy? Again, don't think I'm against something like this. The Frostbite engine, I think, would do the World War II scenario a damn good go. With the graphical fidelity and insanely good audio that it can produce, I just don't think something like that will keep players happy for 12 months anymore. It's a sad situation to say the least, but I think in today's society that we live in a world where we expect everything to be done quickly, if not instantly. We live in a time where if you want something new, there's always something new for you to try, and you can just throw away the old thing. If something is broken, 9 times out of 10, it can be fixed with an update. But when you turn back the clock to somewhere like World War II, how can a game developer conjure up a set of weapons, attachments and content out of thin air? You can't. Meddle with the setting too much of a game like that and people won't really take it seriously. My point being that World War II games were popular back in the day because they were all we had to play. We had no choice but to sit and play Medal of Honor or Call of Duty storylines because that's all there was to play. Now though, there's so much more that can be offered in a modern day shooter like Battlefield 4 for example, that if something like 1944 came out and followed the same structure as past World War shooters, I'd say people wouldn't really find it interesting for all that long. But anyway, that's just my opinion because, well, my opinion matters just as much as yours does. Leave me some comments down below today. I'd love to get your thoughts on it. Just a couple of things before I go. There are 2 links in the description to a couple of items I've got up on sale on eBay right now. One is a GamDS gaming mouse, their laser edition, which is a really nice mouse by the way. And the other is a Roccat Carve 5.1 surround sound headset. So if you're interested in either of those, you can go and bid for them. And, well, whoever bids the most will win. You don't have to, but I just thought I'd give you the option considering it's gaming hardware, so you might be interested. And someone on Twitter mentioned that they'd like me to sign it if they ended up winning the bid war. So if you want me to sign it, I can do that, but I'm not really sure why you'd want me to deface 2 perfectly good pieces of hardware. But there we go. Links in the description as I said. But thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave me a thumbs up if you did. But until next time, my name is Westy, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.